Chapter 61:23. Hearing the traffic policeman saying that Elaine was going to commit suicide, Claire suddenly said nervously, "Take me over there quickly to see her." The policeman also said hurriedly, "Come on, come on." After that, he quickly took Claire with him, then walked to the room where Elaine was. Charlie happened to follow behind. He put the luggage at the entrance and chased after them. He stopped the two of them and asked, "Comrade Police, where is Mr. Wilson who came here with Miss Elaine? Can I see him first?" The traffic policeman asked curiously, "Who are you?" Charlie explained, "I am his son-in-law. I am thinking that my wife will persuade my mother-in-law. After they have been persuaded, that's it. We will take them home together." The traffic policeman said quickly, "Oh, that's great." After saying that, he quickly waved to a colleague. "Will, come here, take this gentleman to Jacob Wilson's room." The man hurriedly said, "Okay." Charlie entered the room where Jacob was. As soon as he entered the room, he saw Jacob with a messy face sitting on a chair and smoking heavily. Another traffic policeman advised him, "You don't hide anything from your wife. You should talk about, as I said it myself, you have nothing to hide from your old lover. So why didn't you tell her earlier? If you had told her clearly earlier, wouldn't this problem have been over?" Jacob didn't realize that Charlie had come in. He lowered his head and smoked while lying. I didn't want to cause trouble." The traffic policeman smiled, "Come on, we are all men. If nothing goes wrong, I can't wait to tell you this matter. Why don't you let your wife know about it and keep it secret for so long? Don't you have other thoughts in your heart?" Jacob didn't know how to deal with it for a while. At this time, the traffic policeman looked up and saw Charlie and the colleague who brought Charlie in and gave each other a questioning look. The man then said, "Jacob's son-in-law is here, let them chat for a while." Jacob suddenly raised his head and suddenly saw Charlie. He rushed over and cried and said, "Charlie, my good son-in-law, I really need you this time. You have to give me a hand." The two traffic policemen hurried out, leaving Charlie and Jacob in the room. Charlie asked helplessly, "Dad, what's going on?" Jacob said angrily, "Hey! Don't f***ing mention it, that idiot Wu in our meeting gave me the wedding invitation given by Maiqing yesterday. It was in the car. I had told him to leave it there, but today he called me so shamelessly to remind me of it as if he was asking me to give him credit for it. It turned out well. Then Elaine was sitting in front of me. Then she started asking me when Maiqing came back. I didn't say, but she asked if I had an affair with her. I said nothing, but it turned out that this BTCH seemed to be enlightened. She sat there and babbled, and she guessed the whole thing. Then she started fighting with me on the highway. After that, he looked at Charlie for help. "Good son-in-law, give me a trick and see what I should do now. Elaine is not only following me if I can't make it, she is going to go to Maiqing's wedding to question when she came back. Isn't this going to ruin my reputation in the whole city?" Charlie sighed and said, "Dad, I told you about this a long time ago. Things may go bad, but you don't believe it." Jacob explained, "It's not that I don't believe it, I'm just unlucky." Charlie asked him, "Then what do you want to do now?" "You can find a way to stop the wedding. You won't let Mom go. Even if she goes, I will have a way to prevent her from entering the scene. But the key is, what will you two do in the future? Do you want to leave, or do you want to live together?" Jacob's eyes suddenly dimmed. With a long sigh, he spread his hands and sighed. "I wish I could have divorced sooner. I've already been with Maiqing. But if we divorce again now, who will I live with in the future? Elaine's character, I can't tolerate it. Do you want me to continue living in Thompson? Aren't you going to have to kick me out of the house? I don't even have a place to stay, so I can't shamelessly go live next door with my mother and brother, right?" After saying that, Jacob sighed again, "I'm sure they won't let me in." Charlie asked him, "Does that mean you don't want to leave?" Jacob said with a bitter smile, "Hey, even now that I'm old, if you can't get divorced, then just stay together. If I get divorced because of this, I won't be able to say anything about it. I won't be able to keep it on my face if word spreads. Besides, what should Claire think of me? I won't be able to face her? After saying that, Jacob sighed again. People say that you can ride a donkey to find a horse. You can only lose the donkey after you find the horse. My horse has run away with others. Now if the donkey is lost, wouldn't it be over? In this business, I have suffered a huge loss. Charlie smacked his lips. Dad, to be honest, staying apart is the most difficult thing to handle now. You don't want to get divorced or move out, and you don't want others to point fingers at you or have objections to you. Then the key to the solution is that you have to let Mom's heart completely get over this hurdle. Do you think it's easy to deal with that character who is bound to retaliate? Jacob was like an eggplant beaten by frost. He lowered his head and murmured, "It's not easy. My dear son-in-law, why don't you lend me some money and I'll go hide somewhere else for a while?" Charlie asked again, "How long is a period of time? If you run away, do you think Mom will spare you? If you run away with her character, she will definitely be with everyone who knows you. If she lists your charges and denounces your crimes in front of you, then you will never come back." After saying that, Charlie added, "But it doesn't matter if you don't come back. I know some people overseas who are quite capable. There is a buddy who is a local emperor in the Middle East. How about you go to his place? If you don't want to go, don't go." Jacob shook his head like a rattle and said repeatedly, "I just want to go out to avoid the limelight and wait for this matter to cool down. I will come back after the news of the incident has passed. It is impossible not to come back in the future. And let you put it this way. I feel that I still won't go out. If I leave, then she will talk nonsense about this matter non-stop." After saying that, he looked at Charlie with a pleading look and asked, "Good son-in-law, how can you make Mom get over this matter calmly? If you can help me get over this hurdle, you are my savior. From now on, if you go up mountains of swords and seas of fire, if you say a word, if I blink my eyes, my surname will not be Wilson." Charlie sighed and said, "If you really want this matter to end peacefully, I do have a way. If you cooperate with me fully, there may be a chance of recovery, but I can't guarantee that this method will work. If it works, our family of four will leave here and drive home with smiles on our faces. If it doesn't work, then just ask for your own blessings. I don't have any other good ideas." Upon hearing this, he immediately asked, "Good son-in-law, what is the success rate of your method?" Charlie said lightly, 50-50. Jacob said with a depressed expression, "I understand, you are not sure either." Charlie said, "I said, 50-50, if you succeed further, take a step back to be a benevolent person, and go home to live a life, you can't just ignore it. When the time comes, I will rent an apartment for you in the city. You can move out first and let Mom calm down. If she really wants to make a fuss at the Senior Citizens University or the Calligraphy and Painting Association, Claire and I will find a way to stop her."